One of the things that we work on is the whole question of violation of rights of women who are diagnosed with HIV or whose husbands die out of HIV. And one of the things they suffer is property dispossession and disinheritance by their relatives. Eventually, when there's death in that family, and if the family does happen to know that either the husband died of HIV, the family members will come and tell the woman, now you brought HIV into this family, so we want you to leave. Take your things and go because your husband is now dead and we don't want you here anymore. And in essence, what that means is if it's her land, it will be taken away from her. If it's her house, it will be taken away from her. Whatever property they had acquired together with the husband in the course of their marriage is basically being taken away from her, and she's being told, you don't belong here anymore. Move out, go, find yourself alive in somewhere else. And that's very disruptive because this is the community she knows as her own community. She's probably lived there for tens of years, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Her children know that place as their only home. They don't know any other home. And what that means is that they're going to be uprooted, they're going to be dispossessed, and they're basically being rendered out in the cold. We also come from a context whereby most of our population is rural-based, and people in the rural areas do not have, most of them don't have formal jobs, so they rely on the land as in form of agriculture, or they rely on pastoralism, that is rearing animals, or they rely on fishing. And when some of those assets are taken away from you as a woman, then you basically have nowhere else to go. You have no means of earning an income. It's out of our traditions and cultures. In some of the communities, the woman is considered as not having a right to own property in her own self. And therefore, although we have now laws that do give women rights to own property, you still find there's a very strong practice of cultural traditions and some of the traditional forms of some of the traditional customs. And so we have a conflict of cultural practice and modern law. So whereby the law is very clear that this woman is entitled to this property, and it's actually also in our constitution that where there's a conflict between written law and the customary law, that written law should take precedence. But people don't know the law. People still, some communities are still very deeply ingrained in their traditional systems. And in our program, what we do is to seek to support interventions that will ensure that those women get redress for violations, that they get their property back, that they can get their children back to school, that they can get their homes back, that they can get their jobs back, that they can get their community back, so that they become part of that community again, rather than be rendered destitute and be thrown out of their homes and out in the cold. The first step we support is sort of a dialogue with the community and with the elders, because we also still have a very strong traditional structure of elders who then we seek their intervention to negotiate with the families to get these women back. But when that fails, then we seek the formal justice system. We support groups to move to court and to basically say, I have a right to this property. It is property that was acquired during the subsistence of our marriage, and therefore the woman needs to get access to that property.
For further information on human rights, HIV/AIDS, and to endorse now more than ever the joint statement, visit www.hivhumanrightsnow.org.